Hey, everybody, Wellness Week Live. Oh, Magnus is over here in Cali. I'm over here in New Jersey. How you doing, everybody? I'm a DJ. He's a DR. He has his PhD. I have my PhD in DJing. He has a PhD in biochem. Magnus, how are you, buddy?
So let's start this from where we should start. We're starting it where we usually end. Click on subscribe.
Right, do
hit
that.
us up. And remember, we want you subscribers. And we want to hear from you too. So please comment, share, and like this. Our what should we call it? Our conversations.
Yeah, conversations, and we're not giving any medical advice or anything like that. Always check with healthcare professionals and professionals. We're just two people, two friends having a conversation. Okay, so Magnus, I said to myself, and I know you know the two topics. The two topics today are men's responsibility as it pertains to birth control and STD control, and the other topic is, what do we learn from loss in life? Everyone likes to win, but really, you don't really win. You don't really learn from winning. You learn from losing. So what have we learned from loss in sports, or loss in our professional career, or loss in life, or whatever? So what have we learned from that? So we'll start from the first topic. Okay, so we're not talking about abortion, although it's linked to this, viewers. But right now, Roe versus Wade is up on the table for the Supreme Court, and there's a lot of debating and chatter going on about Roe Wade. And I thought to myself, it's unfair to always say, it's the woman's responsibility. Us men need to take responsibility for our bodies. If you call yourself a man, then you have to protect yourself. It's incumbent upon us, the men. What can we do? What can I do? I don't know about a woman, because I'm not a woman. I can't give birth. But what can I do? What can us men do? And that is be a friggin' man. Take responsibility for ourselves. Wear prophylactics. Wear protection. Or abstain. Say, you know what? I'm okay, and I'm not right now, or whatever. There's a lot you can do without, me verbally, explicitly telling you to be affectionate and have romance without having intercourse. Or if you're going to choose intercourse, again, men, protect yourself from STD and from unwanted pregnancies. It's simple. It's like $2 or $3. It's called a condom. But Magnus, it drives me nuts. I know so many people, and you probably do too, that, it was a mistake. It's not a mistake. A mistake, you have to unbuckle your pants, unzipper your pants, pull down your pants, pull down your underwear, go into a room. These are not mistakes. These are choices. You are making a bad choice, gentlemen. So make a good choice. And it takes $2 or $3. You can get it from 7-Eleven. So I hate when people say it's a mistake. That's a crock of bullshit. The second thing is, I hate when guys say, the condom broke. I don't know what condoms people are using out there, but in 2022, if you're using Durex or Trojans, they don't break. Listen,
unless you don't know what you're doing.
I mean, but Magnus, even honestly, like you probably know because you're PhD in biochemistry. I mean, condoms go through two layer of quality assurance. Number one, electron microscope. They're going to check, as you know, for any type of literally a molecule of a tear. They're not going to sell that condom. Second, they go through an inflation check where they overinflate the condom 100 times its size. Okay, once it passes those two stages, then it's allowed to be sold by Durex or Trojan, the big name brand. So when guys say, condom broke, what are you using for a condom, man? A Ziploc bag? Like, well, how that's a bullshit. So it broke, and what was the other one I said that when they say mistake, BS. It broke, BS. And what was the other one that I heard?
I was drunk.
But again, though, but that's your responsibility, guys. You're right. I was drunk. Or no. What did they say? This is really lame. Most people don't say this, but it's like, too expensive. Guy, come on. And I'm talking to the guys. It's too expensive, really? You got money for cigarettes, beer, liquor, hanging out with the boys, Netflix, video games, 19 pair of sneakers.
Can I add something here?
You don't got $2 for a condom? You're full of crap, man.
If you're saying that if it's expensive, having a kid is expensive.
Well, again, right? It comes down. So this whole thing really, the condoms is a means to an end. It comes down to responsibility. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're going to call yourself a man, man up. It's not fair to put this all on a woman. It's just not right. It's not fair. And I want to have this discussion because, it's all about, we're talking about the woman. And obviously, yes, it takes two to tango. The woman is a portion of this discussion. But what about the men? What about, you don't hear about men? Men, take control of your life, take jurisdiction of your body. Again, wear protection, wear a condom, prevent STDs, prevent unwanted pregnancies. And that's not everything to do with an abortion issue, because you have people who are married and sometimes, again, not to get into abortion, but things happen, they find the baby is going to be ill, whatever. That has nothing to do with condoms, but most of it does have to do with birth control. And again, my thing is, men, take responsibility for you. I got to take responsibility. So when someone says it's too expensive, every single board of health in every single town in America, you can get condoms for free. Okay. So there's no real excuses. And it just comes down to responsibility. Admit it to yourself. You made a bad choice. You done did it. Man up, take it on the chin, be a man, stand up and take responsibility for what you did. That's it.
It comes down to a couple of things. Like, first of all, like, responsibility is key. I mean, not only are you responsible for yourself, you're responsible for your partner or the other person you're having sex with. You're also responsible for the potential, like, kid.
Right. And it's
so it comes down to it, and it's like, we're talking about, then it's just not about you. We're talking about several other people, families, and it could even be like a whole town or whatnot, So you have to think a step further and not be egocentric about this, because at the end of the day, there's more than just one person that gets involved in this, and it's not about you all of a sudden.
Right. And by the way, people say, oh, it's a mistake. A mistake is you're walking down the street and you don't see the uneven sidewalk and you trip. That's a mistake. But having an unwanted pregnancy or an STD, that's not a mistake. That's, you made a bad choice. And it takes a lot to get there. You got to get on the phone. You got to text. You got to meet up. You got to get into the bedroom. You got to open the door. You got to pull your pants down. These are not mistakes. These are bad choice after bad choice after bad choice. And, the thing too is, my thing is, and by the way, for viewers, I mean, Magnus is, we're both not two dweebs that don't, I'm a professional DJ, okay? Read between the lines. Magnus, hey, he's a good-looking guy. Come on. You're a former athlete, a military guy, So, I mean, like, we're not two people who are like, oh, I wish I could have friends and go out. So you can't say it's easy for us to talk. I'm single, he's married, but, we've been around the block a few times. You know what I mean? We're not children. So we can talk. But Magnus, the other thing I wanted to say is, I grew up very religious. And to someone that would say, I'd rather have my mommy and daddy be mad at me because they found a condom in my wallet versus my mommy and daddy mad at me because now I'm going to be a father at 17. Yeah. I'd much rather get yelled at over a prophylactic. I get it. God's going to punish me. No problem. But you know what? I didn't get an STD and I don't have a child at 17. So I'll take that yelling.
Not just that. I mean, how many people think that they're ready for being a parent? And like, I always tell people, like, maybe you should wait a little bit and like to gain more life experience and be more prepared so you can actually be a good parent. Don't get me wrong. Like people that are younger could be awesome parents, but I mean, the more life experience you have a better understanding of what goes on, and you can actually, like, I think that you could be a better role model and a better parent with a little bit more life experience. And I'm not saying that that's for everybody. Some people wants to have kids when they're young, but like, think a little bit like you also might want to, like, be able to travel, see the world, things like that, before you actually become a parent and kind of settle down and things like that. It's just something. So it's not just like the sex part. It's a lot about other things in life that kind of like rings on water. It spreads out, like think a little bit longer. And I'm so lucky. Like, I'm coming from a country where you get a lot about educational about sex and things like that, even at an early age, because they think it's so important. And it's also like trying to reduce teenage pregnancies and things like that, so people have an understanding of what goes on. And I think it's also important that people actually get like real education, so they're not get like an education from porn, because porn and sex are two completely different things. And I think that people need to have that understanding is it needs to be talked about too, because
Right.
watching porn as an educational thing is pretty freaking horrendous.
You're gonna,
Like,
yeah,
when you
you're
look
not,
at it, you're like I'm sorry that I'm laughing because it's
you're
like
not getting it
so
right.
like it's so dumb.
Right. Every human on earth at some point in their life has seen, you know, some sex movie point. Let's be honest. Every human on earth. I mean, with the exception of maybe one person on earth. But you know, funny you mentioned that too, because, you know, and again, to your point, hey, look, you're 18, you want to get married and you're making money, cool, do it. You know, but my point is take responsibility, whatever that is, but you can't say you made a mistake. No,
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that. You know, men, I'm talking to the men now. And if you be a man, be a leader, you lead, you wear protection, you take care of yourself. That means you're going to take care of others as a byproduct of that, you know,
Yeah.
but that's what real men do. You know, you BS. And if you messed up, we all mess up. I'm a sinner. No one's perfect. We all mess up in different ways in life. But again, it's a pretty low bar. You know, I have a friend who's an ex-NFL player, and I want to talk about also abstinence, because like that's who does that? And a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. A lot of people choose not to have sex until they're either ready or they're married. So this ex-NFLer, he you know, still a stud, like all muscles, got money, good looking man. And so he told me recently, he's like, you know, you know, he had a lot of sex, you know, in the, you know, NFL stud, all this stuff. And he decided to stop. And he said, you know, I'm going to wait till I get married. I'm like, dude, you're like 40 something. What are you talking about? You know, he's married once before, but he's like, you know, Anthony, basically he's looking for a relationship. And I made fun of him, you know, and I feel bad because I was like, oh, dude, yeah, you're waiting. What are you? You know, you're a nerd, you're a loser. But the older I get, the more I'm like, you know, this guy made sense, you know, and because he said, look, I go out with women all the time. I just don't put myself in situations, you know, I don't go to their house. I don't come to my house. We go out for dinner, whatever. And yeah, I'm waiting till if I get remarried again. That's it. And you know what? It can be done because he's doing it, you know, and people do it, you know, so you don't have to, it's not a fait accompli where it's like everyone has to have sex. You don't have to have sex. You know, you can have affection and have a very rich, fulfilling, loving life. Now, that might sound hokey, and you're a loser, but this dude's an ex-NFLer, man. You wouldn't say it to his face, I promise you, you know, and he had his prior life where he was, you know, hoeing around, but kudos to him, you know, because it's another option and people need to hear that. And it's not the only option. Again, if you're going to have consensual, you know, sex, adult, yeah, I mean, us men got to take responsibility. Even the young men out there, you got to take responsibility for us. You can't put it on a woman or anyone else. You know, be a man, be a leader, lead yourself, you know. So anyways.
But it's the same thing looking at it from this perspective. Like if you're having sex and potentially there could be a child coming off of that, like you need to be prepared. I mean, like if you're having sex, then you're like, yeah, you have to step up to the plate and be a parent and not just like, I'm just going to run away and say that was a mistake. No, like then you have to, like, if you want to be a real man or a leader and you know, like actually take responsibility, then you have to take the responsibility for that kid, and you are going to be a parent for the rest of your life after that. So I mean, it's Pandora's box. Once it's open, I mean, you are a parent. It doesn't matter. I mean, like, and I think that you should be a part of your kid's life, whatever happens.
Right. And that's the other thing.
You don't get along with your partner or whatnot, or if it was a fling or one thing, like you still have to be a parent.
Right. And now that's another issue, but yes, you're right. And again, it's a very simple thing, and men have to take responsibility. If we as men take responsibility for our bodies, pretty much abortion is not an issue. It's not a topic because we are controlling us. It's not fair to put it on someone or a woman or an STD problem. You know, like the STDs out there are running rampant. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
Again, men, take responsibility for your body. I have to take responsibility for me, Anthony, the DJ. I can't, no. You know, if I mess up, it's on me. You know, and if I succeed, it's on me.
And like another perspective that you brought up that we didn't kind of dive into, what we will do now, it's health. It's a health thing. Like you're talking about STDs and everything else. Like you protect yourself because it's important, especially like AIDS is still out there. Something
Syphilis,
that you have to think
herpes,
of.
gonorrhea, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't happen, and there's like a lot of medicine and things like that. It helps out, but AIDS is still a horrendous disease.
Nobody wants to get that.
And
right.
we're lucky that we live in Western society that you can get like like most people can get at least drugs and things like that. It's harder if you live in somewhere else,
Right.
in Africa or something like that. There's still a lot of people dying from HIV
course.
and AIDS.
And it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And then it's the same thing. Like go back in history and look like, well, like how was it when people got like gonorrhea and things like that, and we didn't have things to help us out. I mean, there could still be more STDs down the road that could be horrendous for us. So, I mean, protect yourself. Like
of course.
and again, like we're talking about prophylactics and things like that. There's nothing that is 100%.
Right.
There's always a slim chance of things going wrong or whatever.
Listen,
you want to call
a
it.
seatbelt can kill you, so don't put your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
You know, put your seatbelt on. You know, like, and that's what. Yeah, so you're right, Magnus. And my other thing is like, you know, it drives me nuts because, like I said, I was brought up very, very, very strict Catholic. I mean, fundamental, like off the rails strict. And you know what? Newsflash. All the single people in church, synagogues and mosques, all the single people, 90-something%, they're having sex. Okay. So cut the crap. Stop. Okay. Don't act like it's not happening. Trust me, it's happening.
And there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean,
right,
it's consent, like both of them. It's like, who cares? I mean,
they don't want to talk about it. They act like they put their head in the sand. Meanwhile, the highest rates of abortion are with Christian women. So, you know, because no one wants to have a real conversation. We want to talk about ideal. Yeah, ideally, nobody should go over 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Ideally, no one
should be overweight. Ideally, no one should be sick. Ideally, like, yeah, of course. But that is like living in a dream world. So like we have to face reality. And like again, it comes down to taking responsibility, and it's responsibility about you, your health, other people's health, and everything. And it's like, protect yourself and protect other. I mean,
right. But I agree with you. You should protect others. That's altruistic, and you should protect others. But even if you're a selfish son of a bitch, if you're protecting yourself, by default, you're protecting others. So cool. You know, like win-win. Yeah. Nobody loses. And when people, the other thing that makes me laugh is when people say, you know, you don't know how it is. I don't know how, bro. I'll read between the lines. I'm a professional DJ. I DJ for a living, okay? Trust me. And Magnus, I know. What do you think? Again, with some freaking losers, like, stop. We don't know how it is. Again, modern day Durex and Trojan condoms. No, I don't. It's not to be TMI, but it's.
But it's
gonna be fine, my man. Don't worry about it.
It's better to have them and not need them, and the other way around, you know, like just buy them and have them like lying around.
Well, but people think they think they wear it.
Yeah, just buy new ones when the other ones when they're due past like.
Yeah, what I'm saying is people say like, oh, if I wear a condom. Yeah, but they say like, if I wear a condom, it's not the same feeling. I'm gonna be blunt here. Excuse my French, but no, it's the same exact feeling. Because in 2022, Trojans and Durexes, it's the same. You don't even know you're wearing it. Okay. So I got to spell it out for people that are watching. So cut the crap. Everyone needs to stop it. And men, take responsibility for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So the other thing I wanted to say though is, I was gonna say about
By the way, we're not sponsored by any condom.
Hey, right. This is not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, watch you get a call. We'd like to sponsor you with a $50 million. Oh my God! Hey, we're rich. No, but I mean, right? You know, so and again, you know, I think abstinence has to be part of that conversation. You know, and men, it's okay to abstain and say, nah, you know what? Like I'm waiting for when I'm ready. You're not a sissy, you're not a loser. I know a lot of guys, you know, that have said that or do say that, and even myself, you know, at points in my life too. You know, like it's okay. You're not a loser. You're not weak. You're not, So, and don't put it on the woman. Be a man up. And if you're going to have consensual sex, then again, wear protection 100% of the time. There's no excuse. And if you don't have it, hey, not tonight, honey. You know, I'm sorry, you know, like do the right thing. By the way, they also sell gels and there's other types of contraception that's not condom related that can also provide protection, you know, so it's not just condoms, and again, talking to the men, you know, it's like, don't put it all on you guys. You be the leader. Magnus, did you want to add anything to that?
No, I mean, I think again, it's like we talked about this so many times. Responsibility. It's you're the only one that is responsibility for you and your health. And in this case, you are actually responsibility for other people's health and their actual life. So don't be egocentric. Take care of business. You're a man. Man up. Do the things that you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and again,
that's what it comes down to.
Right, and I think there's a lot of shame though, especially with religious people of all religions.
Yeah, and that's just right. Ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. I mean, it's
my parents led me down the wrong road. Yeah,
yeah,
and my parents are good people, but they led me down the wrong road because they never spoke to me like a lot of millions of people. They don't speak to their kids, and just by the grace of God, no pun, but I just didn't get in any trouble, but.
It's better to have that conversation too early and too many times than too few. I mean, again, it's about education. The more someone knows about the risks and the consequences and whatnot, the better understanding they have. And they have an understanding. It's like, yeah, I should probably protect myself. So, yeah.
And to the people who would say, well, if you tell your kids to wear a condom, you're encouraging sex. That's stupid. That is the most asinine thing.
For sure.
That's like saying, well, yeah, I told my kid to wear a seatbelt in the car, so I'm encouraging drag racing.
Or speeding.
Stop. Newsflash, people are having sex in your synagogue, your church, your mosque, your temple, not in the places, but I'm saying like the single people are by the boats loads. Okay. So but you gotta, it has to be discussed. And I'm not advocating for people to go out there and hoe around. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is have a discussion, and you have to have a discussion about abstinence, but you also have to have the discussion about what is protection. And hey, we love you, honey, our son or daughter. We'd like you to wait, but condoms. Let's talk about this, and men. I'm talking about the men. The men got to step up, So that's what this conversation's about.
It's again like risk and reward. Like what's the worst case scenario that you find? So like one of your like kids having a condom somewhere. Or that should actually come home and say, like, yeah, I got someone pregnant, or I'm pregnant.
And I know a bunch of people who did that.
I think we need to be like honest and actually look at it with like 2020 vision and have an understanding. It's like sooner or later, like however you old your kids are, they're going to start having sex. So you're better off like having that conversation and also educating yourself. And again, you might actually learn like new things that you've forgotten about, things like that. Like educate yourself and be there and educate your kids too. It shouldn't be the internet. It shouldn't be like put on the schools or whatnot. It's you as a parent that needs to step up and actually educate your kids about it.
Right. And I'm also talking to guys that are not, teenagers, like young men in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Men, step up. Take care of your body, wear protection, okay, and make it about you. Again, you can't put it on women or your partner. Be the leader. Take sovereignty and governance of your body, your life. Wear protection 100% of the time, or abstain. That's it. And it needs to be talked about. It's a shame. Everyone puts it all on the woman or the partner. No, men. Talking to you. So, anyways, all right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other topic was, and by the way, viewers, let us know what you think. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. Whatever. Okay, so losing in life, you're an athlete, I'm an athlete, and it's like, we're so adverse to loss. We can't lose. Everyone's got to win. Everyone's got to win. Win. Nobody can be a bench warmer either. Got to be a starter or you're a loser. It's like, no. I thought to myself, what have I learned from loss, whether loss in sports or loss in business or loss in love or loss in life? So for me, what I've learned is, we're all going to lose. We're all going to die. We're all going to fail. And we're supposed to fail. We're supposed to lose. And that's how we learn. So we don't make the same mistake or the same loss twice. But if you don't open your eyes and ask, how did I lose? Or what could I have done better? You're going to keep on losing, but you need to lose. You need, and you don't want to lose. You're not shooting to lose. But when it happens, and it always does, it's okay. It's okay to lose. I've lost in business. I've lost in love. I've lost in friends and family. And I've lost in whatever, gotten F's in school. I mean, so what do you say?
It's how you bounce back from, it's how you bounce back from like negativity or something that happens, like it shouldn't just be lost, but like whatever, failure or whatnot. It's how you bounce back and what you learn from it. Like I would tell a lot of people like how I see losing. It's a learning experience. Like that's how you actually become better. That, okay, I shouldn't repeat this mistake. Or when it comes to football, like that was a bad move in that situation. The next time I will try something else or whatnot, or I have to concentrate more, I have to practice more to become better and whatnot. And it's the same thing. Like champions are champions before they start winning. And I think that is important, that they know what loss is, and probably they don't like losing. and it's like, but losing is fine. Like at one point in time or whenever, and it keeps you also like honest.
Right.
Like you're not constantly like just floating and everything is fine. I mean, it actually like it might take you down to earth a bit when you're starting to get too cocky or like being too confident that when you're playing a game or in life, there's always a risk of failure or loss. So
right.
that's just it is. And it's the same thing, like losing a loved one, like losing my grandparents, my dad, and things like that, and my dogs, teaches you things about what life is about, like cherish the moment and remember the good times and think about like how many like the good times that you had together, and try to have as many good experiences together as possible, or experience that actually evolve that relationship and the persons that are involved in that situation.
Yeah.
So and that's why, I mean, it's funny when we're talking about like kids sports nowadays. Oh, we're not counting points and things like that. Who are the ones that count points the most? The kids themselves. They know exactly how many goals they did and how many they like points against them and things like that. They understand that, and it's still an important fact about like life, about how do you tackle failure, how do you move on, how do you get better. And I think that removing that is actually like doing more harm than it would be like protecting themselves from losing. I think that is bad. And I think that is bad also with like participation, like trophies and things like that. Like just because you're involved in something doesn't make you special. Like you might be good at something, but it doesn't make you special. I mean, we're still humans. It doesn't like losing or winning. I mean, we're still individuals. We're still humans. And I mean, like, and I think like being a sore loser is one thing. I think it's more important that you're being a good and decent winner instead, because like being a bad winner, like going around like talking trash, trying to put other people down even more.
Not good.
That's horrendous. That's when.
Oh yeah.
That's what people needs to learn about. Like be confident, be like good, be a good person, take loss, take wins in both good ways,
Yeah. Also I think it stems from parents too. Like I coach tennis and I play in tennis, and I know you're an athlete too. And I recently I saw a dad that was like just ragging on his kid during tennis practice. You're doing it wrong, this and that. In my mind, I was like, this is a 8-year-old. Like, I didn't say anything to the father, but in my mind, I was like, yo, dad, shut the F up. Like, give this kid, this is not even a match. It's like, you're making the kid neurotic. You're not letting him, breathe and it's okay to miss a swing. It's okay to fail. But he wasn't doing that. How could you miss that? Come on. I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
I learned something, especially when it comes to kid, and this is something that I learned from a coach that is his name is Joe DeFranco. He's out of New Jersey. Really talented guy. Used to train a lot of kids and also like a lot of high school or college athletes and a ton of pros. The thing is that he said he did not want parents at his practice facility due to this problem, that the parents are interfering with their job and the kids can't relax. The kids needs to be able to relax. They also need to hear like getting another adult or supervisor's voice and hear what they're saying, not just constantly hearing your parents yelling about like, and it's the same thing. The same thing that you're not holding the back correctly, you're not cleaning your room. It's all about like nagging, and you will build a bad relationship with your kids sooner or later. I understand that you want to push your kid and become the best, but let your kid like evolve themselves.
Yeah,
I mean, you need to enjoy it. You know, like the kids are not going to enjoy it and keep on playing tennis if you have parents constantly.
Yeah, whatever, baseball, football. Yeah. So, right. You know, and it's like the bubble wrapping of children. These parents they don't want their kids to get a boo-boo. They don't want them to get hurt. They don't want them to get a loss. And obviously we don't want our kids to get hurt and also, but you know, it's like, it's okay to mess up. It's okay to lose a point or a game. But I'm seeing it, man, like every week. I'm just like, and again, I don't say anything because it's not my kid. I'm the coach, but you know, it's just like, you know, so what I do is actually funny because when a parent is critiquing their kid from the sideline, I'll quickly say, that's okay, Johnny, you know, good job, buddy, you're doing good, but hey, great practice, Johnny. Even though the mother or the father has been spouting toxicity for the past hour, and you know, I always make sure only positivity comes out of my mouth. All right, next time, good job, you know. But anyways, so.
I mean, I think like if you want to see a like poor example of how to be a parent that is involved with kids in sport, I think that there was a TV show called Trophy Kids or something like that, and it's worse. I think it's like an HBO show or something like that. It's horrendous what some kids, the parents are making their kids like crying and things like that. It's okay to have like deep talks, you know, but like just dwelling on negativity, it's horrendous. And it's the same thing like what we're talking about, like in coaching. It's like give them a feedback sandwich. It's like good, then you put a little bit of like one bad thing and then another good. So you finish on a good thing, you have one bad thing in the middle, and then you finish with a good thing.
Man.
Yeah, and be more supportive and like be positive and like be a good influence on your kids' sporting adventures and things like that. That is more important than anything. Because you see, most of them, when we're talking about like pro athletes or things like that, first of all, they're extremely genetically gifted. They also have a drive, which is like insane. You seldom see in many other people. But the ones that are fortunate to have two parents around is like, or one parent is like hearing what they're saying, like always like being positive, like asking, okay, what was good, what was bad, you know, and let the kid kind of like put words to it themselves. It's like, okay, yeah, I didn't put enough effort, you know, I could have run faster. And I was like thinking about something else that kids do once in a while, you know, have them kind of point out things that they need to maybe get better on. And this is not something that you should do with young kids. This is when they're starting to get a little bit like older and having a little bit more like, they're able to analyze, they're able to understand more, you know, like having a more like a real conversation about it. But having them open up so they feel like confident that it can always like they're always going to get support and confidence from their parents. Yeah, and that's key for success.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so like I said, right to your point. Yeah, well said. I mean, and loss again, it's okay, and even in scholastics and academics, like again, you don't want to get Fs, but yeah, it's okay to fail. You know, you don't want to shoot to fail, but when it does happen, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn. And you know, anyways, and I think that's how you become successful, right? Not having risk adverse. You want to play to win, not play not to lose. But
I would say one of my best friends growing up, and also one of my like teammates. He said something that I thought was pretty funny. I don't really care about winning or losing. The only thing that I care is that our opponent does not win.
There you go.
Because I don't want them to feel the joy of winning. So if like and that's kind of a fun way of looking at it, like winning and losing. It's like I don't want to see the other team win. So
essentially, it's as long as I try my best, whatever happens. I'm doing my best. It's another way to say that, I guess. You know, but yeah, man, that's it. So wrapping it up, Mag. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we check out of here?
Yes, one thing that I want to do. So my birthday is coming up next week, and I just want to show Anthony. Send me this.
Oh, that's the
So I
kind
can
of
show it up.
day.
Yeah, it's so funny. And since I'm a Star Wars fan and dog fan, this was so sweet. And I'm like, thank you so much for it, and it's like highly appreciated. So
Yeah,
I just
man.
wanted to say that. Thank you on
dark
air.
side.
So,
Yeah,
so
Luke
people get
on
to
your
see
phone.
what I actually got from YouTube because you mentioned it last week. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna show them. So.
I had to make sure you, yeah. So I was like, wait, when's this guy's birthday? But awesome, dude. Well, there he is.
Here's one. Okay, they've been bothering me because they've been scratching on the door. So finally, my wife let him in. So if they are. This is my gang.
Yeah, Rocky just walked away from me, but my dog, Rocky the Shih Tzu, he's got to get his go to the groomer. He's getting too bushy. So I Anyways,
we actually got a fur trimmer for them too. So we're actually gonna start, like, especially during the summer times, we usually trim them a little bit so that they're keeping their fur fairly short. So it's easy for them to.
Actually, I do the same thing too.
Yeah, cool down and be happy.
Oh, yep, for sure, dude. Well, I'm glad, man. And so
thank you so much. Thank you for having me again. It's always fun. I think our conversations are really, really interesting, and I hope that the viewers find it interesting. And again, please comment, share, like, and we want to hear more from you guys. What you think?
Yep, roger that. All right, everybody, enjoy the summer. We got a lot of shows coming up. It's gonna be awesome. So, all right, Magnus 5-4.